Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the AA word of the day for Saturday, March 3rd, 2025. And the word for today is overcoming self will. So, our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic is an extreme example of self will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. Above everything, we alcoholics must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us. And that is taken from the book Alcoholics Anonymous, also called the Big Blue Book, page 62. For so many years, my life revolved solely around me. I was consumed with self in all forms, self-centeredness, self-pity, self-seeking, all of which stem from pride. Today I have been given the gift, through the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, of practicing the steps and traditions in my daily life, of my group and sponsor in the capacity, if I so choose, to put my pride aside in all situations which arise in my life, until I could honestly look at myself and see that I was the problem in many situations and react appropriately inside and out, until I could discard my expectations and understand that my serenity was directly proportional to them. I could not experience serenity and sound sobriety. What a wonderful reading. I can relate to just about everything said in the commentary and in the quote. An example of self-will run riot. And I really didn't start out that way. I come from a big family, and we were poor, and we lived in tenement flats. And I had two goals, well, three. I wanted to swim as well as I could in high school and college. Two, I wanted to get out of the house as soon as I could. The way the bedrooms were arranged, we had two sets of bunk beds, but 6 boys at that time to go into the bunk beds. So that meant you had to divvy up on, double up on sleeping arrangements. And my youngest brother, Brian, always wanted to sleep with me. And I don't know, I felt I had absolutely no privacy. I had one drawer to keep my stuff in, and they knew where it was. My brother used to get into all my stuff. I tried to have a reel-to-reel cassette player, just not a big one, a smaller one with the 3.5-inch reels on it. And he wrecked that, and I just wanted out. Yeah, I wanted to get my degree and get out, and I did. When I graduated from college. Actually, they talk about how hard it is to get a job today. Wow, about 20 motorcycles just went by. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here, and they had job fairs on campus, and if you're a math major, you were kind of golden. And I got a job right away with the bank, and I took the job. So I had a job before I graduated from college, a very good paying job. And so I thought, well, I can afford to get my own apartment, and it was a very sparse thing, As long as I had a little black and white TV my dad gave me, I had a stereo, and at that age, 21, that's all you need, really. I had a bed, of course. The apartment was so old it had a gas refrigerator. I liked that. It kept stuff really, really, really cold. And if the power went out, the refrigerator still worked. So, I got out on my own. But my thinking was different than anyone. When my friends would call me up, they'd say, "Hey Joe, you want to go out clubbing?" Well, in my mind, that was translated in my head to, let's go out and drink as much as we possibly can. So I was the type of guy that sat at the bar, always 2 beers in front of me, while they're going out meeting people, dancing, and I didn't want to lose my spot at the bar. Very alcoholic thinking, and I'd be the last one to leave. I tried to get as many, they'd in Rhode Island at that time, 2 o'clock was last call, but they'd make it about 10 off so they could clean up and get the heck out of there. And I'd be sitting there, maybe 4 or 5 beers in front of me. And things went in my ear differently than they did for other people. And it's true. Self-centeredness, self-pity, self-seeking all stem from pride. And it skews your whole view of normal life, or at least it did for me. And I could not get out of that cycle. Eventually, I stopped going to the bars. It was more, some of them were mostly populated by, after I turned 21, they changed the drinking age to 18, so you go to a club and there'd be really young kids there. When I got up to be like 25 or 26, eventually they changed it back to 21. It was a disaster in Rhode Island, changing it to 18, because then 16-year-olds got in, and I was afraid. I was getting pretty drunk at night, driving home on the road. And this goes to show you your selfishness, that I'm driving impaired. And so I never got a ticket, never. In fact, I was with a guy once, my friend Ronnie, and he got stopped. And the guy could tell he was drunk. But he was on the other side of the car. He was on the driver's side. And he says to me, "You got a license?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Drive the car." But I was as drunk as my friend, but he couldn't smell it from me because I was on the other side of the car. So he didn't arrest my friend. But that put the fear of God in me, and I started a lot of very isolated, insular drinking. And there's a comment here. Until I could honestly look at myself, and my serenity was directly proportional to my expectations. And that's kind of hinted out at the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it's so very true. You're not going to be happy if you're butting your head up against a wall of things that you have no power to change. Really, when it comes to the very basics, we all can only change our reaction to things. And that's how I got better, when I realized what was actually being said in the serenity prayer. And so hopefully I think I do have some serenity. And I have happiness. And I enjoy doing these videos. And I'm not always out there, poor me, poor me, poor me. I had this big thing about coming from a very poor background. Ashamed to even tell people I lived in the projects. We lived in the projects for quite a few years. There were 2 right next to each other in Providence. And when I started to, have more time away from my parents and met other people who were not my relatives, that's when I began to develop that attitude of, for me, these people, they have their own house, they have their own bedroom. Why can't I have that? And that's how it developed, I think. But I spend less time on thinking about that and thinking about how I can improve myself, grow spiritually, and help other people. So God bless you all. Come visit tomorrow. I'll try to make it a more exciting day. It's going to be my 34th anniversary. March 4th, 1991 is my first day of sobriety. First full day of sobriety. And that was 44 years ago. It's hard to think of the 90s as 34 years ago. 34 years ago, not 44. Yeah, I think the 70s may be far away. The 60s definitely. But, so, see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay sober. God bless.